for the rest of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, one thing I really wanted to look at, right, was just where the zones, I think we always talk about how zones pulled and where the zones are in when it comes to any major Fortnite tournament. And these were the positions of all the 6 zones we saw throughout these games. This is 6 zone in particular as well, which is really interesting because I think when you look at this season and the meta right now, Vivid, a lot of the players, when you talk to them, have been struggling with 6 zone rotations. It's one of the most difficult zones to navigate through. But when you actually look at the zones and you look at where all the top 5 teams have been landing, even though they're all over, you know, they're not having problems at all, right? You can see it's less about where you're landing and more about taking advantage of the zones you get when you can. All these teams landing in different corners, but yet still consistently doing well in these games.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to give a big shout out to Clicks and Venom right now. I saw that Venom made a little bit of a social post I was mentioning, like, man, I really wish we could pull some zones, right? So that's kind of affecting him when it comes to that. But the biggest stat that kind of stuck out to me in particular with Clicks and Venom is that they actually led duos in damage dealt in the first 3 zones, right? So that's an amazing stat right there. They're starting the early game very, very cleanly, which is actually impressive because as we know, just 2-3 days ago, they found out they were actually going to be contested. The fact that their early game is still going well in terms of damage dealt is super impressive. But maybe that's kind of the point where, you know, bunkers start to get claimed, those other positions, you know, right? Rift Island, the weapons of like Peterbot, all of these attachments that get added onto weapons, then they start coming to play, and maybe that's where they're kind of falling behind.
Absolutely. I think from talking to Venno, I think that comes from their individual brilliance rather than having a consistent game plan, right? I think they are still trying to figure things out in terms of splitting that POI with Resigns and Demo from OCE. Like, how do we get our loot, get out, and get enough damage and be able to play through these games out? I think they're still figuring that out, but the fact that they're still so high on damage just shows how great they are individually as players.
In that situation, though, do we just say, like, day 2, 1.5s, we're just going to fight you? Like, what do we have to lose, right? What do we have to lose?
So do you know what the problem with that is, Zeke, unfortunately? As soon as they start fighting, right, Clicks gets knocked in the feed, or Venno gets knocked in the feed, Peterbot and Poyo
coming
flying over quickly, right? And so you're in a tough spot there where even if it isn't Peterbot and Poyo, right, Giras and Chari, who land nearby, the Polish duo, they see those guys fighting. Again, they're going to be on that hill nearby thinking we can get some free damage here.
Man, crazy stuff, crazy stuff. I want to talk more, but I know what you guys want. It is to meet these players. So Dickie's Arena, give a big warm welcome to the first 10 duos.
It's Alex and Worthy looking to even the off-spawn score. These guys are ready to start day 2 with a bang.
Let's give it up for Andalex and Sato. The French Pride are going to have to dig in deep today. And let's hope that they find that last-minute strength to succeed, just as they did at Major number 2.
Everybody make some noise for Baka and Pars. 1 match out of 6, we saw their potential. And today's a second chance for Baka and Pars to find success on the global stage.
Here's Casper and Prism. They are here, especially after heating up in game number 6. The real question is, can they keep up what they started?
Blocking now, you got Job and Michael. It's been a tough day 1. What have they learned and how have they evolved?
Hold on, it's CCB and Nathan. We know they're known for their consistency, but who would have called them being just inside the top 10 after day number 1? Now, let's see what they can do.
One more time, it's gonna be the double T's, Trashy and Threats. They knew it wouldn't be easy, but the top 10, it's so within their reach.
Coming in hot is Stroll and Sky, the Danish duo that have had their biggest task in front of them right now after closing day 1 right inside of the middle of the pack.
They know it's time to pick up the pace. They've got 6 more games to make it happen. Let's get after it, Kadu and Sion.
It's none other than Booga and Aviv. 2 out of their 6 performances were stellar. And if they can find that groove again, we can definitely see them up at the top.
I think that's probably my second favorite part of the show is bringing out the players. The first will be when we lift the trophy. But to just hear the crowd lose and to see kind of the players in that moment really take in, man, there's a crowd. We're here at LAN. Let's go. A duo that didn't budge an inch. Baka and Pars. So locked in right now. It looks like they've got their eyes on the prize. Very consistent duo out of NA. I think a lot of people had high hopes for this duo, even including them into the top 10, just because of how consistent they are. Often, it's like, oh, they're the NA Cammy and Seti. They just play so passive, always playing for the placement. But right now, 11, kind of disappointed in the sense that they are in 23rd.
Absolutely. I think part of why maybe things have gone a bit awry for them so far is, as we've seen with a lot of teams, I think a lot of the mid-game strategies people had prepared, the lobby just looks so different, I think, to what people expected, right? We've seen that effect with a couple other teams as well. Queasy talked about when we interviewed him earlier, right? Like, there was a lot of freestyling that had to be done. Hopefully, these guys have been able to use that experience from day one and cook up something a lot more consistent today. That's right, and you guys heard them. I mean, the moment we talk about Bugha in any capacity, crowd goes absolutely crazy. Shout outs to him paired up with Aviv. And of course, shout out to JP, very special guest there who got to walk out with them. Currently sitting in 24th place. But if Bugha's taught me anything, it's you can't count Bugha out. He can make anything happen. And now we just said, Bugha, I don't know, what about a 1.5 times multiplier? Can you work with that?
I think Bugha and Aviv can work with that for sure, right? I mean, like you mentioned, it's really, really hard to count Bugha out. Honestly, he has survived in Fortnite competitive for so long because of how smart he is, because of how much experience he has. Well, now I gotta say, Levin, it's time to put that experience, that knowledge to test. Day 2, can the comeback happen? And there's so many people here that love him and are rooting for him, and he's got to do it for them.
That's right. Do it for the people. That's what we want to see. But for the people, we will now bring out the next 10 duos.
Whale and Muzz know what it takes to win, and today it is time for an all-star performance. Show us what you got.
Let's give it up for Chap and Teeny. After winning Game 1, they've already proven that they are championship caliber. However, it was just the start of their journey.
Rise and you must start at day 1 off strong, but can they hone in on the consistency? Because this is where it matters most.
Ping and Watts, ladies and gentlemen, they began surging up the rankings here in day number 1, and if anything, the rest of the competition has to continue to go that way for them.
It's been a lot of growing pains for Danath and Tinka, but you can't count Oceana out. It's a new day, and it can always be a fresh start.
It's none other than Quatsi and Gone. NA and Brazil are going to have to dig deep today to make the community proud. This duo has shown that they can win fights, but now they need the placements.
Si se puede, Clone and Krabsu. Their next move is hopefully going way up on that leaderboard.
It's double trouble. We have Reek and Ritual. Closing the day out in 25th was tough, but now with the 1.5x multiplier, can Reek and Ritual find the strength to pop off?
A massive welcome back to Reason and Mateo. Can they crack into the top 10 for day number 2?
Batman, Bugha, and Rapid are in the building. Everyone is wondering, how is this team going to adjust? And can they actually prove that they're one of the best on NA?
Never gets old. Never gets old. Love to have these players walk in and just kind of, again, feel that energy from the crowd, feel that electricity. So for you guys in the arena, every time these duos come out, make some noise. Let's take a moment here to highlight some NA West teams. Kelly, well, sorry about that. Reet and Ritual, very excited to see this duo. And again, I'm just going to continue to frame everything through that same exact lens, 1.5 times multiplier. What can we expect from the duo coming into the competition for day 2?
Something that we touched on a little bit earlier, Levin, right? The fight that's going on all the way up north between Reet and Ritual, Kyoto. And honestly, I think the biggest thing there for me is that fight happening over that bunker. There's been so many teams. Every single time we go up there and take a look at one of those teams, there's like 4 other arrows just surrounding the area. So I think it's honestly just brought way too much attention to that area of the map. Maybe they'll have to switch it up today.
I mean, I think we were seeing that, right? Where teams are struggling for damage, where are they going to naturally rotate to? They know there's going to be people at the bunkers. Let's go there. It was funny because it was one of those games where we went there. I'm expecting to see Mapoli and Kyoto fighting Reet and Ritual. It was like Zagu and Shiram. These guys must be thinking, do the Asian players just hate us? Like, why are they all coming to our bunker? Oh my goodness. But look, if you expect anyone to be able to deal with that pressure, especially when it comes to fighting, you'd think Reet and Ritual can do it.
Absolutely. And once again, from one Bugha to the other, Batman, Bugha, Rapid, these guys once again, as long as your name is Bugha at some capacity, the crowd's going to go wild. But to see Batman, Bugha, and Rapid perform here today, they've got the crowd behind them. What do they have to do to kind of put those pieces together?
Talk to Batman, Bugha a little bit, hoping, honestly, just an early rotation out of Grimgate. Maybe look towards the south, towards that bunker down there that I think Swizzy and Yapko have been getting.
I think it has to be that, right? New solutions to get early damage going into the mid game.
That's right, that's right. Well, you know what time it is. It's time to bring in the next 10 duos.
No matter the odds, Swizzy and Yapko are ready to run it back, but they'll need more victory royales if they want to get the job done.
The pride of the Middle East, Adapter and FKS. Game 1 was the round that determined the pace for this team, but then they lost the steam. Can the Middle Eastern pride make a big comeback today?
Hello again to Trulex and Chicho. The foundation is there, but they've got to build up if they want to reach a global championship.
Fort Worth, give it up for Kate Shuttle and Kate Key. If this team can make it past the mid-game, we expect huge things. However, we all know it won't be easy.
They've had a day to work on their chemistry, but regardless of the outcome, Chiefs and Chris, you've got the hearts of champions.
Let's put your hands together for Huddy and Kovacs. This team was contested on day number 1, and after a near-perfect day, they came in sweeping through the competition.
Dukes and Sphinx found their footing in day number 1, and maintaining their consistency will be a big step in the right direction.
All the way from Japan, it's Bobby and Larpax. They have their work cut out for them here today. Will some of Asia's best be able to step up to the challenge?
After taking the night to review, Aspect and Kazi have hopefully developed a strategy to turn the tides back in their favor.
It's your boys, Acorn and Cold. They had a spectacular day 1 performance, placing in the race for a trophy finish. But let's see if they can close out strong now.
Cold is going with. Let's go, and fans are still cheering for Acorn and Cold. I wanted to take an opportunity here. We kind of referenced this damage, top 5 damage out of yesterday's performance. We got to look at Trulex and Chicho. Chicho on that top 5 as the most damage done. This is a duo we cannot count out.
I mean, we called it out yesterday, right? Because we were watching them end games and we tuned into them and they had like more than 5 elims, which if you know anything about them as a duo, that's not typically what you expect. These guys were popping off. Their damage, their game plan is, ironclad, right? It cannot be throttled in any way, right? And so I expect to see these guys continue their dominance today.
kind of known for doing those giant towers that put them above the rest of the lobby. An interesting stat there to kind of point out is that they're actually the only duo in the top 5 with 0 time spent on the higher ground as it pertains to the end game, right? So in that middle game, they're all the way up there. Come down to the end game, they're going for the low ground.
Wow, crazy stuff. And of course, don't worry, crowd. We'll talk about Acorn and Cold, of course. Fan favorites here without a doubt. And again, you can just tell in their face, they are so locked in. They know what needs to be done. Now they just have to pull it off.
I need to see more people in the crowd hitting the cold celebration. I need more of the cold celebration. I mean, look, we know what these two can do. They've contested us format Alex and Sato. It went pretty well for them. I mean, they've historically done well when contested as well in the past. So I just expect them to do more of the same. Acorn talked about, again, pushing the bucket a bit, right? Going even harder today and making use of the 1.5x multiplier. I'm super excited to see what they do.
Such a consistent team. Cold is used to putting up big elimination games. Is there anything that I had in terms of requests for day number 2 out of this duo? It's gonna be Cold. One of those games, 10+ eliminations. Let me see one of those pop-offs.
That's right. They said they're a day 2 team. So Acorn, I'm gonna hold you to that. With that being said, though, let's bring in our next 10 duos.
Starting the day off in 2nd place, but Queasy and Thomas HD have only one goal in mind, and that is to break the curse.
Put your hands together for Koyota and Mipoli. This Asian powerhouse has their work cut out for them today, as they have proven to be the best team in Asia for day number 1.
Experience gain is never a loss. Let's see what Shadow and Virgo have in store and what they've learned since day number 1.
Gears and Shari, everyone, after an 18th place finish. We'll just have to see what this team can do, as they have a bit of a way to go here in day number 2.
We know that they're entering from the final hour, but Visuals and Braids may still have some tricks up their sleeve here in day 2.
Agers and Rise, after being surprise contested, this duo still managed to find their stride and close out with an impressive 11th place finish. What can they do next?
We know they've been hitting the VODs and looking to review, but now it's time. Janice and Pixie, they're ready for the fresh start, but can they break through?
Coming in hot, it's Ed and Persa. The Brazilian fans will need to come together for this duo, because they're going to need your energy if they want to make a top finish.
They're taking every opportunity, but Damo and Resigns are here to show that they can hold their own on the global stage.
It's Peterbot, it's Boyo, make some noise for work. There's nothing much to say for these kings of NA, other than they might just prove to the world that they're the strongest team here.
Man, I feel like the Dickies Arena was not making nearly enough noise there for Peterbot and Poyo. I'm a little bit disappointed by you, crowd, just like a little bit. They're still waking up. It's fine. It's fine. You're still waking up.
They'll get
Peterbot, Poyo? They'll get there. They'll get there. Maybe with the last 10. Maybe with the last 10. Man, Thomas, HD, and Queasy, though. We kind of talked about them at the start of the show. I want to talk more about them, with them now being super locked in.
Look how locked in. Look how locked in they look. Look at Queasy. You know, there's a 4-letter word to describe what that is, you know? A-U-R-A. Aura. Straight aura right there. Look, he said all that needs to be said about what they need to do today. I want to see them deliver, man. Queasy's come close in the past. Thomas has come very close many a times. I want to see them get the job done today.
Yeah, Levin, you mentioned it, right? They did mention what they need to do today, and I think the quote went a little something like, what? Get height?
Don't die.
You guys are tripping me out here. All right, crowd, let's hear it for Peterbot and Pollo. There it is. The duo in first place, looking to hold on to that lead, but can they do it? This is a new day. Anything can happen. And again, 1.5 times.
A lot of pressure. I would say a lot of pressure has to be on the shoulders of both of these players right now. Such a big lead. Game in number 7, I think, is going to be telling. Are they going to use it as kind of like a reset game? Are they actually feeling nervous at all? I've got no idea. I would be nervous.
I don't think they're feeling any nerves.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I think it's like when you're Peterbot and you talk as much as you do, but you're seeing the results come through, it's like, why be nervous? Like, I'm saying I'm the best. I believe I'm the best. And the results show I'm the best. So why would I be nervous?
Can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that. Well, crowd, we've only got 10 duos left, so you need to make some serious noise for our last duos.
Everybody give it up because Vico and Flixie are back again. They had a good performance in day 1, but now it's time to be great.
Here's the Asian powerhouse of Zaku and Shalom. The global stage pressure is truly showing that anything can happen. Will they be able to make a comeback today?
Bryce and Bolt are back. Lucky number 7 to close out day number 1, but they're still aiming for the top.
They're back. Malibu and Mustache, after being contested, they have their work cut out for them off the drop. They'll just have to see and wait what they can do.
Another day, another opportunity for Cal and Haman. Let's see how they adapt and overcome.
Let's welcome Paper and Victor V. The fans know him, the community loves him, but they need to step it up if they want to have a trophy finish here today.
Still here, ready to make Brazil proud. King and Phaser. They'll have to fight their way back into the conversation, but they're ready.
You know who this is. It's Kanata and Cooper, and they're right in the middle of the race. We'll need the champ to finish and find a second win if he wants to succeed today.
It's been a rocky start here for Cammy and Seti, but the Polish powerhouse are due for a comeback. Can they make it happen?
Let's give it up for Clicks and Vino! Meditation, preparation, resilience is what this team stands for. The fans are rooting for you, but how far can you push it now?
That is the kind of audience reaction I want, and that is what I hope we continue to just do that for the rest of the day. Shout outs there to Clicks and Ven at the very end. Hanging out with Max from Make-A-Wish. We got to hang out with JP and Max. Excited and thankful that they could hang out with us. Now, we got to start things off. We saw Sammy. I always
he did it.
I did it to myself.
Oh, man.
Seti, Cammy. I'm sorry, I just mix up letters in my head. Seti and Cammy, very excited. Much kind of like all these other dudes we talk about day 2 team, right? We can never count these guys out invitational winners. And now, what are they looking to do?
They were the team that I felt probably had the biggest effect of what I talked about yesterday with Chapentini switching over to the Nitrodrome. Oh my goodness, it had such a big ripple effect on Cammy and Seti. When you look at how they were playing before, they were in a surge base, they had another surge base in Kanada Cooper near them, they had Rising Ages near them, but Chapentini landing at Nitrodrome sort of warded those teams off, so all of a sudden Cammy and Seti are there going, hello? Like, where is everybody, right? Nobody's here anymore, and had a big effect on how they played in the mid-game, so hopefully they've cooked something up overnight.
Yeah, we had a lot of those zones kind of flowing north as well, right? So a lot of those southern teams actually like to sit in the storm, and with Chapentini there, right? Them being unpredictable in terms of being there kind of messes up that rotations for a lot of the teams that are to the south.
Difficult situation, to say the least. Finally, Clicks and Veno kind of rounding out our duos here once again. They've been hot and cold, right? And they've kind of been put into these situations where they've been in these shambles situations. However, they've had time to go back to the drawing board. What do we expect in day 2?
The drawing board, I'm happy that you kind of brought that up, Zeke, because if there was anybody that was hitting the VODs, hitting the replays, looking for something to exploit, it's the guy right there on your screen. Veno was looking for something. Levin, did he find it?
I mean, I hope he did. I hope he did. I mean, you guys are going to have to show him some more love. Can we make some more noise for Veno? There we go. There we go. Look. These two, it's been a tough sort of tournament for them because coming in, they were the favorites for a lot of people, and understandably, things look so clear-cut for them. The switch up and being contested makes things awkward, and so hopefully now they've sort of got an idea of how they need to play with the loot they have and the timings that they have coming out of that spot, but I can't imagine it'll be easy even today.
Yeah, no, I mean, crowd, you guys absolutely need to be cheering on Clicks and Veno. You can see it on Veno's face. He's locked in. He's here on a mission. And now they just have to execute their plan. We're getting closer and closer to kicking off day number 2. As we kind of prepare ourselves, is there maybe something you guys are hoping to see here in game number 1? Is it some crazy strategy? Is it, let's just all everybody go 5 beat about Pollo, try and shut him down, let's have a normal game for once? What is it?
Man, what do I want to see throughout these 6 games in general? I just want to see some good Fortnite, right? There were moments yesterday. I think one of the biggest ones that everybody's kind of been pointing out is the Swizzy 1v2. Heck it, let's have 1v2 in every single one of the games today, right? Keep those end games spicy.
I mean, me personally, I ain't praying on their downfall or nothing, right?
Okay,
but it would be nice for Peterborough and Pollo to have a slower start so we could have more of a competition. I'd like to see it be close by game 12.
Okay, all right. I think that's fair. I'll just rewrite the script super quickly before we do that. But Fortnite fam, it is that time. Game number 7 is prepared for us. So let's send it on up to Monster D-Face and the best taco to take us in.
Yeah, listen, I'm with you. The script, we got to go ahead and adjust that bad boy for day 2, of course. There's 6 more games here.
Yeah, and exactly, and I mean, I know it's really easy to get caught up in that point disparity that Peterborough and Pollo have established, but again, the 1.5 times multiplier makes anything possible, and we've already heard a couple of pretty popular duos. Some strong teams say that they're ready to challenge here in match 7.
Match number 7 is here. Day 2 of the Global Championship has arrived, and this is what it is all about. Who will have the start of the career, really start of their day, go the way that they expect it to, as Queasy and Thomas are going to be the first to touch down. We already had the chance to interview this team as well, right? Start to get a feel for what's in store for them. And you can tell there's other players kind of in the vicinity. However, they have the drop fully to themselves, but it's not the same for teams like Malabuca here.
Exactly, Restored Reels has definitely been a pretty popular hot contest here between Malabuca, Mustache, and the Power Boys from Oceania, Alex and Worthy. Worthy, though, managing to find a shield potion off rip, could definitely bode fairly well. And surprisingly calm start for both of these teams. They've got enough distance between them that they'll both have an opportunity here to loot things out and see how that next engagement really goes.
Much different than what we saw in days previous. Meanwhile, Peterborough and Pollo also seems like there's a little bit of a different strategy going down here. Yesterday, Peterborough and Pollo would have already probably had 2 eliminations come the drop here. However, they are still at 0, but jumping on over to that conversation of Malabuca and Mustache, game 1 jitters, more like game 7. However, things are off to a fast start for Power Alex and Power Worthy. They get the tags and they find more onto Malabuca. Already, it's looking excellent for the Team Power Boys.
Alex trying to do what he can, trying to scramble up behind Malabuca. Malabuca managed to throw down a couple of metal walls just in the nick of time.
Nice.
But he's only delaying the inevitable. Oh, she strikes first here in day 2. Alex and Worthy fully in control now of Restored Reels.
Australia continuing to step up now. That's exactly what we want to see here. But for Kovacs and Huddy, the most surprising, I think, of all the duos that appeared inside of the top 10, given that they had a perfect day one, minus a single early game elimination. We'll catch back up with them as K-Shota and Keiki have to make their region proud. All of the Brazilian fans are rooting for any of their teams to step up here. Can they win this first fight?
All Cheeks and Crisp are trying to do is just make sure they have to fight back. And Shota eats more damage than what he was bargaining for. Crisp now next to Cheeks. They're going to find that first knock. Shota is down. And unfortunately for them, Keiki goes with him.
Very, very tough angle to peek there, given he ran out of real estate. But look at this, Swizzy and Yapko try to make a move out of town, and Yuma and Rise, top 10, the best performing team out of Asia from day one, is here ready to meet them in here at match number 7.
Something the analyst desk was asking for was
Huddy already out, Kovacs below the surge as well. Will fall here shortly if he can't find a tag now, but Reek finds it instead, and that's your 5th place team now. Consistency tossed down for once. And it's looking like a repeat performance of yesterday for Huddy and Kovacs.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to really be able to bulldoze your way as a solo through Re and Ritual of all duos. Peterbot and Boyo, though, this is the furthest we've seen them make it all day today, so they're clearly trying to ramp up for a big performance here in the 9th lobby. But Clix and Benno, on the other hand, they've got Gears and Sherry in their sights. Got a very efficient cutoff, but more importantly still, they need more damage. It's gonna take them some time, but finally Clix will connect. 77 above though. Damage threshold just continuing to threaten so many of our teams here today.
Yeah, if you were hoping to get lucky with Peterbot and Boyo, that already happened, right? Like 2 games, unprecedented. Doesn't happen often for them not to be in the end game. So this is everyone's chance now. The playing field has been even, nicely done by Aviv here. Not only did he actually pick up and save Bugha, but he manages to find damage to keep them in the game, and enough damage on the duo to have them to stop peeking so they can rotate, but it is not looking good for Aviva and Bugha. I don't know what more we can expect of them, but there are a lot of duos there. Toyota and Mapoli, the strongest Asian duo from day number 1. They finished in 10th, so they came in today with a lot to live up to, but have fallen a bit short now up against the likes of Aviv and Bugha here. What can Ping and Walks do?
There's ever a time to prove himself, it's now for Aviv, but he has so little HP to work with. But he has plenty of targets surrounding him. Bugha, though, just too low for the count. Sato's gonna find him. Aviv trying to go massive now to Reap. A little bit of spoiler, getting some tags and cracking those shields. But the fact of the matter is, Aviv and Bugha, they squeeze their way into the top 10, but they still go down for it.
Yeah, meanwhile, Thomas HD, you see there, just racking up eliminations, damage, everything that you could be hoping for. And there's another one onto K-Shota outside of the zone here, trying to make their late rotates. Clicks, it is not looking good for him at the moment, as he's also in the storm right now. Vino is down. This is just a desperate spot to be in.
Clicks, if anything, was just hoping to play for maybe another elimination at the end of the day, though. He's only got a little bit of sliver of HP to work with, but it's just enough. He might be able to clutch out at least 1 or 2 more placements if he can just stay hidden, fully concealed from the rest of the lobby. Only 3 builds though, MDF. I fear we're looking at the beginning of the end.
Yeah, it's definitely looking really close here. 8 HP for Clicks, 3 mats to work with, late on the rotate here, barely above the surge. It's just so tough. But he's staying alive here, earning little bits of placement, right? All this does start to add up here. Finds Mapoli, very weak. Almost gets an elimination there. Someone else ends up stealing it, but still, he's in the game right now, holding on.
He's at least got that 33 damage above the threshold. But again, MDF, it's just the odds so fully stacked against him. Any of these next builds that he crosses over could be his last. Teams could just be waiting for a perfect opportunity to scoop up a free 6 points. From the backside of the zone, though, Clicks continuing to try and charge through, hoping that he can catch another player off guard, but he sees gone. He knows that there's a knocked body, but he won't be able to power through and push into these boxes with the armored walls going up, instead of trying to remain concealed. But Boyo, Peterbot, they're gonna find him.
Of course, it's Boyo and Peterbot waiting to catch them in the web. Look at this though, Cammy and Seti. They talked about what they need to do in order to win this tournament here, and that is win more games. They got the last round, and then they didn't even sit down and celebrate. They know that they have to stay absolutely locked in here. But Queasy and Thomas HD are doing the same right now. Below the surge though, things can continue to develop here. Vico and Flixie now on the move. 3 Elans. Here's about Boyo, very, very situated right now, but low on material.
Low on material, not only that, but Vico and Flixie hot on the heels as well. You have to consider they're making up a lot of lost ground just off the eliminations alone. And Peterbot and Boyo know it. They're just gonna try to play it out and control the low ground for the time being. But with that reveal medallion scanner having just gone out, it's a fresh opportunity for them to see if they can close in on somebody else. Chicho, though, with a big tag onto CZB. That's going to be the knock. And Peterbot, instead, finding Badil in the bottom layers. That's going to be a beautiful refresh for him and Boyo.
This is starting to look like a 4-way race unless Dukes and Sphinx can get a win. They're another top 10 team, of course. But Peterbot and Boyo are cooking right now. And also, they picked up material here. This low ground performance is one to take note of. On the other side, Thomas HD and Queasy are also playing the low ground here, but not so hot looking for them at the moment as they are running out of material. So very different start situations happening here.
They're at least healthy, though, and with that Gatekeeper shotgun primed, it only takes one good shot for Thomas HD to find the refresh necessary. They're going to continue to sink in from behind the rest of the foot traffic there, playing from the backside of zone. Peterbot, Boyo, meanwhile, staying ahead of the pack.
Thomas
has lost Thomas. He's going to opt for the medkit opportunity instead, and with 0 builds remaining, it's all going to boil down to whether or not he can even make it into the zone and stay concealed enough for nobody else to pick him off.
There it is. He's going to break through the sidewall. This has all been edited. Baka's very weak. White HP. The armor wall comes through. Not worth, of course, pursuing at this moment. He has to focus in on staying in the front side here. No build to work with. Enemy around the backside. Can he get one? More points for him. This is huge for Queasy now. Earning points, earning eliminations. He has to stay ahead of Peterbot, who is on the low ground with a down teammate. Peterbot, so much more to work with, however. It's still so close for everyone else. Another med kit is going to start coming out for Queasy.
He's just doing everything he can to survive. Peterbot, though, going to pick off Teeny in the process. Queasy finds another into Rapid. Not going to get a chance, though, to collect the body loot. Instead, he's scrambling, trying to remain out of sight here. Tulix and Chicho right behind him, but Peterbot grabs him in the end.
That's exactly what he needed as well. Peterbot trying to take back these points here. Finishing off Trulex now inside of a top 5 situation up on height. It's Dukes though with Peterbot looking to fight back. Do not count him out. It is all solos remaining here. Tito goes down. The next one is down too. Batman Booga sent back to the lobby. 3 players now here. Peterbot looking at 1v1v1 and another one. Down goes Bars. Can he find the final fight here? Dukes is excellent in these type of scenarios, but Peterbot is just a little better. Up top, the high ground hit is good, and he needs to go. And he does it again.
Peterbot, there is a reason why everyone is regarding him as the best in the world, and with a performance like that, he might just be.
Put him in the box, wrap him up, and send them back to the lobby is the motto here. Well played.
Would you please, forward, put your hands together for Peterbot and Boyo! My, oh my, oh my, Peterbot, that is how, that was ice cold. That is how you do it. Walk us through the last part of the game there. We just saw you sweep up. You are like unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know. I just eliminated everyone. I mean, everyone was a solo player on me. Gold gatekeeper with drum mag. I was just eliminating everyone. It was pretty easy.
I mean, you're right there with the guy. The crowd are behind you too. Poyo, unbelievable work from your duo partner here. When you see that in the end game, how are you reacting? How are you feeling in that moment?
I saw it was 5 solos, and I just had a feeling he was going to win the game, too. I just had a feeling.
You just had the instinct. You just knew it was going to happen. Peterbot as well, obviously, the first 2 games, they didn't go according to plan, but that is the way to go into the break on this final Sunday. How do you guys feel like the first 2 games? Things are really looking good now going into this break. What do you do to regroup during this halftime break?
Yeah, we're going to talk to our coach and go over the first 2 games and see what went wrong, and yeah, we'll go from there.
And anything you want to say to Queasy and Thomas HD for the first couple of matches as well? I mean, obviously the crowd here are very excited too. He's checking his stats on screen. He's looking at the leaderboard, and we have ourselves hey, this is flip-flopping all the way here, but there's a difference in points now. You guys are back on top.
Thank God. God did.
Okay. And Poyo, going into this last part now, you two, how are you feeling? Are you confident that that is definitely within your grasp? 3 games left to go.
Yeah, I think we can win. Just replicate what we did last game and the other games we won yesterday as well.
Okay, well, let's see exactly how it's going to unfold. One more time, Fort Worth, give it up for Peterbot and Poyo! This is one serious Global Championships final. 3 games left to play today. We can't wait to see what happens next. Zeke, what do you guys think? This is blowing my mind.
My hands are up. My hands are up. I don't know what's happening anymore. I cannot even believe this. First off, how did this game end as a solos? This is a duos competition. Solos running around, and just the fact that Peterbot pulls off one of the most insane solo clutches, right? I mean, Poyo goes down in 11.
Yeah, and then Peterbot, 1 by 1, systematically takes out the rest of the lobby. And you can see it in his load up right there. And he called it out, the gatekeeper, with that drum mag. So no longer does he just have 3 shots. Oh, is there 5 solos? Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I have in my gatekeeper. I am going to take down everyone. And it was such a good run from them on the low ground. Even though they did have a little bit of a rough start with these first 2 games of the day, they did not let that knock them down. And now they're knocking everyone else out.
I mean, this is what you need to do to win a global championships. You need massive solo clutches like this. I mean, these final moments right here, every single elimination, every single refresh he was able to get was just compounding. Look at all these builds that he was able to get. Double elimination right there was absolutely crazy. And I noticed when I looked at the Duke's POV, Duke's had no materials, so Peterbot had the advantage. This elimination on low ground was crazy as well. Peterbot had so many more materials than him, so he took height perfectly. And I thought for a moment there was a moment last Globals where Dukes had an insane solo clutch from the low ground. I thought, are we going to see a similar sort of thing again? But then, of course, it's Peterbot. He was only going to win that.
You know, they like to say that sometimes people like to put people into a false sense of security. Oh, Peterbot and Poyo, day 2, they're washed. Everyone else, this is when they put them into that sense of maybe we have a chance. Oh no, Peterbot and Poyo, they're still there to fight. They're still there to show that they are the best in the world and at the top of the leaderboard.
Oh no, they've reclaimed that spot for just a moment. Thomas HD Queasy had it. And for a moment, it was like, okay, the reign's over. Could this be the moment? And then Peterbot and Poyo answered that question. No! Nice try, fools. I cannot believe what we just witnessed. And 10 eliminations. Remember, the victory is worth 100 points by itself.
Yes.
You slap 60 points on top of that. Here we are. Here we are.
56 eliminations. Look at that column 1 in from the right. 56. And nobody else comes even close to that. The second place team, Thomas and Queasy, 29 eliminations. I mean, we saw them do it online. We saw them W King. We saw them being such a menace to the lobby. I think a lot of people, myself included, were like, are they really going to be able to do that on this global stage in front of the best teams in the world, in front of this amazing audience in person? Yes is the answer. They can do it. They can still do it. And I mean, that's a great response after the first 2 games. Wasn't the best for them, but that's a response of winners right there.
However,
However.
There are still 3 more games to go. We have already seen the leaderboard in first place change between 2 teams, and we do see that there are other duos on that leaderboard that are within reach. And we now know that Peterborough and Pollo are not invulnerable. We did see them go down in games 7 and 8. There is a possibility that that happens again. However, I love what they're saying. They're going to go back to their coach. They're going to go review specifically what went wrong in those games, and hopefully they never replicate it again.
That's right, and you saw them there on screen. Yep. They're right at it, right? They are really quickly trying to identify those issues. On the flip side, Thomas HD and Queasy, right? How they must be feeling. For a moment, it was ours, and now the rug pulled out from underneath them. We have a listen-in from this last game. Take a look.
Stay down there! On me, I'm probably dead. On me. I'm dead. I'm dying right here, and this 2 splashes. Nice. He's hella solo, bro. Nice, bro. You have 5 metal walls. Body. Also, bro, all solos. 5 solos. Nice. Get 2 bodies there. 2 more solos. You need to reload. One's on height. I think you go up. Nice, bro. Except 20 gold, but you can fizz. Nice. The best player in the world, baby! Oh my god. Come on! Let's go! You're actually crazy. Holy, bro, let's go!
Yeah, so remember for like a moment, like a lot of yesterday, we had that like super cocky Peterborough, and then like for the first 2 games he was there. He's back, he never left again. He was just like, it was like the dangling the carrot, like, yeah, everything's cool, everything's fine. These guys are beatable. Just kidding. That's not the case.
I do want to mention, though, yes, Peterborough and Pollo did absolutely well there, but Queasy, a solo on the low ground with no mats, able to get back-to-back eliminations as well, just making sure that they are still collecting those points because they don't want to see the 150-point deficit that they saw from yesterday.
Yeah, they really don't. Really well-played game from these guys. I mean, it's unfortunate that Peterborough and Pollo had such a good game from their perspective because this was another solid performance from them. You saw how Thomas HD went down right there. Really unfortunate situation. Queasy was actually able to pick up Thomas HD's materials once he was finally eliminated in the storm, so that just kept him going and allowed him to make this solo clutch. Some really, really nice eliminations. This one in particular, unfortunate that he couldn't get those builds, because I think if he could have got those builds, he would have had a little bit of a better placement in the end, but solo clutching 6 is so good, and particularly for Queasy, who I feel like people don't often give him the credit as a really great mechanical player. It's all about Thomas HD. He's the fragger, he's the best player in this duo, but no, Queasy has what it takes as well. He's proved it previously, he's proved it today. He is one that can perform as a solo.
And think just off that performance, right? That was enough to kind of, because Peterborough could have run off, right? Yeah. And that was enough to just hold them on and just say, like, look, you're going to pull ahead, but I'm going to make sure that lead is not as big as it could have been. Props to Queasy after that, my goodness. Also as well, just a couple highlights from the last game, Dukes and Sphinx. Dukes making into that 2nd place. They burned so much for that high ground, though. Still 2nd place, placement and eliminations, that's huge.
Yeah, and Dukes and Sphinx had a pretty good day 1 as well, so to keep that rolling into day number 2, to control high ground there as well was very smart. Cammy and Seti for a moment there had high ground, but then they saw that they had low mats. That's when Dukes and Sphinx went up, and Cammy and Seti very smartly dropping down, not even trying to fight for it, because when you have no mats, what's the point there? Dukes and Sphinx capitalizing on that awareness, did a great job in that game.
Yeah, they did, and as you mentioned, Zeke, it's always tough to sort of keep those materials going when you're a high ground team like that. We saw at the end, Dukes didn't quite have the materials to try and win that final 1v1. I expect to see this team making more end games, though. It's nice to see them getting that 2nd place, as you mentioned, a really solid day for them yesterday. So building on that, not crumbling under the pressure of having that good performance in day 1. I'm excited to see what they can do.
That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fam, we are now at the halfway point of the competition. Only 3 games left to go. Our players have left the stage. Now they'll have a moment here of respite. They'll be able to eat, talk to their coaches. So when we return from this next break, we'll have more for you here from the FNCS.
Fortnite's fun. We all know that. But how do we make it even funner? How about by playing it on one of the biggest screens in the world? Today we're going big. Big shout out to NASCAR for bringing us out here to the Texas Motor Speedway, just outside of Fort Worth, where we've invited some Fortnite players to play on the NASCAR Daytona rocket racing map. It's gonna be a great time.
I think the biggest monitor I played on is like 30 inches maybe, so it's a huge upgrade for sure.
Just to show y'all how big that monitor actually is, here, zoom in, see if you can see Veno. I think you need probably 1 million Venos to make that whole entire monitor. Yeah, he's waving right there.
It would be sick to do a tournament here.
100%.
A tournament on the screen, bro?
That'd be fun.
I'd love to do that.
Come on in.
Big Lev on.
Have you ever played on a screen this big?
No.
Not this big.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
Damn.
Oh, okay.
He's taking a step. He's confident.
Take away.
I don't think you're gonna win though.
We're gonna jump in. We're gonna see who can get the fastest times today. We're gonna do some time trials, right? And it's live. Let's go.
You already
guys already
turned, man.
You're 6 laps?
He's played this before. I feel like he's
Where's
played.
the timer?
Maybe he's not played it before. The middle mouse button to activate your boost. Go on, Aaron.
Oh my God.
So you sit in this 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Get a go. So Rob.
Are you next? 11? Isn't it 11? Evan's gonna get the worst score, bro.
Really?
Don't get nervous, Clicks.
And it's live. Let's go. 320 to beat. No pressure at all. But if you don't beat the score, it will be pretty embarrassing for you.
Can you see where the kilometers is, like with the numbers?
Yeah, I see.
Oh my God.
We bugged the map.
What did I say? You gotta be 2 seconds. You gotta be 2 seconds.
You've lost a lot of seconds there, bro.
Let's see.
Let's see.
Clicks is rocking in with a
3:11.
That's what I said. That's what I said. That's what I said. It was much.
That's not great. That's not great.
By 9 seconds.
So Cooper's stepping up next. Oh, bit of a slow start there, lad.
Yeah. Wait, how am I slow though?
I think you'll hit sub 3 minutes at the moment, yeah.
You got low key good. You got like
strong finish.
253.
Oh no.
Oh, that's a good time. That's a good time. That's a good time. Canada, start your engine, lads. Let's go. Strong start.
Better than Cooper.
Canada.
Yeah, wrap this up.
No,
there's
a bug on me. No, I'm getting green. It's on me. It's on me, bro. No, this bug's on me. I'm getting green, bro.
Oh, what's it gonna be?
Damn. No.
What's it gonna be?
Ooh,
3 minutes on the
7
clock.
seconds.
8 seconds
short,
out.
bro.
Hey, at least I beat.
minutes.
Do you think he beats the timer? I beat these two.
Who the worst is?
Who's the worst?
Oh yeah, your turn. Let me step up, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Now,
Crazy.
now it's time for the tutorial.
No, it's an overcut. Oh, no.
Tutorial.
Oh, no,
He's
man.
techie.
He's drifted.
He's techie with it.
This is a guarantee.
I got it. I hit it.
Oh, no.
Come on, give me a good time, please. Under 250. Under 250.
3. Oh my God, you got slower than me. You got slower than me.
Commiserations. 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 Nice try.
Nice try,
next time.
Nice try, bro. You guys got next.
Let's go.
To
the winners.
the winners.
Place.
Well done. Second place.
Yes, sir.
First place. Third place right here as well. And that was some rocket racing on the big horse. 280 feet wide, 97 feet tall. The biggest screen you guys will probably ever play on. What'd you make of that?
That was crazy.
Some fun?
It was fun. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Especially playing the racing game.
Yeah.
That hit.
It was good. Hey, shout out to Rocket Racing. We're going to see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Up here at the Creator Lounge, the influencers are plentiful, and let me tell you something, so were the vibes after that game. I mean, Peterbot and Pollo putting themselves back into the conversation, but now we're at the halfway point, and I just had to revisit a conversation from yesterday with two of our good friends, Blake and Somerset. Hey guys, how are we feeling after the 3 games from today?
I'm feeling good, man. Like, we got a tournament on our hands. Peterbot had a bad first 2 games. Thomas HT, Queasy popped off. We thought like maybe Peterbot was gonna choke a little bit, but then he comes out with a crazy solo clutch. It was all solos at the end, a crazy game.
All I'm gonna say is Blake has been in support from Peterbot since the beginning. I may or may not have, but now I'm definitely turning my cheek onto them because they have been going absolutely crazy the last 2 days.
Awesome stuff. There's been a lot of surprises in the competition so far today. And Blake Hackett, why don't we throw a surprise your way as well? Why don't you go ahead and turn your head that way real quick? Everybody, it is Blake's birthday! On 3, I need one giant happy birthday for Blake himself. 1, 2, 3, happy birthday! Go ahead, Blake, go ahead and make a wish right there. There it is. How you feeling?
I just wish to qualify for Global Championship next year.
That's how you know he's a competitor. Somerset, you are always by Blake's side. Any words of affirmation for him?
Happy birthday. You're getting old. Everyone's making these accusations that you're washed now. So next year for Global, he's got to prove them wrong. Let's go.
There we go. Listen, we have some cake to celebrate with up here. There's going to be a celebration at the end of the day, and Queasy and Thomas are hoping to be a part of that.
Yeah, they really are. Can you make sure that you save us all 3 here some birthday cake? I would be devastated if you didn't, all right? I'm joined by Queasy and Thomas HD here. We have got ourselves a serious championship Sunday. Queasy, the first 3 games, I mean, we had ourselves a lot of points scored early on, and Peterbot Poyo going down gave you guys a real advantage to get up that leaderboard, and you were the top spot for a while. Walk us through those first kind of couple of games and how that went really well for you guys, ensuring that you are definitely in contention for that trophy.
I mean, we're just trying to be consistent, but it's hard to compete with Thanos himself, you know? So we'll see.
Thanos himself. I mean, Thomas as well. I mean, you obviously in that 3rd game watching Queasy there, who managed to clutch up and just carry on going. You need those kind of plays in finals like this, don't you?
Yeah, I was like really hyped that he clutched up a few elims and he clutched from top 12 till top 6, I think, or something. Yeah, I'm proud of him.
Well, I mean, there's only like, what, 40 or 50 points between you guys and top spot right now, which is absolutely doable with the 1.5 multiplier. The last 3 games, does anything change for you guys? Is there any kind of strat coming into this you think this is how we go for it? Or is the consistency and the complacency of where you are right now going to get you through and up to that main stage to lift that trophy?
I mean, I don't think we can change much. Don't really have time to make adjustments, but we just keep doing what we're doing, and we hope it's enough.
I want to hear about one for a second here, you guys as a partnership. What is it like playing alongside Thomas HD? I guess a lot of people at home right now wishing they could be next to you guys, competing with you. What's this guy like playing next to?
It's amazing, and it's pretty easy to play, you know? That's about it.
Same question for you. I mean, this guy, he's done it all as well. Queasy is the man. Same thing. What is it like this season playing next to Queasy?
I mean, it's great playing with Queasy. Like, I don't think there's anyone else that I want to play like a LAN like this with than Queasy. I think he's like the best ideal by far.
Okay, we're going to see exactly what happens. Will they manage to go all the way and lift that trophy on behalf of the EU? I hope so. Let's head our way back over to the rest of the gang and see what they have to say.
On behalf of NA, I also hope so. That's just my opinion. Welcome back here from the FNCS. We just are sitting here at the halfway point. Man, that last game was so crazy once again. Obviously, we would love to see Thomas HD and Queasy win, but also that story, Peterbot and Poyo, the back and forth. It's a really great story.
It really is a great storyline, and I hope that we get to see both of these players make it to the end game for the next 3 games as well. However, like I said before, there is still an opportunity for other teams below them to climb up the leaderboard, and to not forget that this isn't just a fight for first place. Everyone is still trying to climb up this leaderboard, make sure that they get into those placements where the 6-digit figures are.
Yeah, I mean, you heard it there from them directly in the interview. We don't really have time to change things right now. They've had a very, very good day overall. Of course, they came out on top in game number 1. 2 very solid games here as well, going into the halfway point. It's just the fact that Peterbot and Poyo had such an incredible game number 3 that they really are just taking everyone by storm right now. Still within reach, though, as you mentioned earlier, Ronzi.
Yeah, and just look at this leaderboard here, right? Like, first place, right, 608, 569. So we got first and second kind of fighting it out. 3rd and 4th, right, in that 400, almost 500 range. They're fighting out. 5th, all the way down to 9th. And you could even argue Bolt and Bryce are even trying to fight up into that competition. Guys, this is still anyone's game. We only have 3 games left to go. During this halftime,